Well, I've broken down. I'm doing a video on it, the Super Bowl thing. And to tell you the truth, I probably wouldn't have been doing a video on it, but for a couple of things. The fact that it's Super Bowl 55, that's lured me in. The fact that it's Kansas City going for the double win. Okay, we've had the double 20, the double vision, and I keep going on about this double cross of Lorraine, balancing both sides of the reality, balancing the yin and the yang, balancing the fictional side of the system, the metaphysical with the physical side, right? Everything coming back into balance. So, does Kansas City have to win for a second time? Do they have to do the double? You know, the 8 is the double. It's the double O, you know, it's the double O. So, you know, is that what we're going to see? That's what I think. I'm almost 100% certain that Kansas City will win this Super Bowl. I'm almost 100% certain. I'm fairly confident. I wouldn't go out and put money on it, but you know, it just fits the story of reality perfectly. That you could wangle it the other way for the. You could still, you know, I'm talking about this rebirth of man again, you know, as well, and we'll get into this in a minute. But this idea of the old goat, Brady, handing off to the new man, which would be Mahomes. So the old man handing off to the old legend, handing off to the new legend, the new leg end. You know, we've been through all what's at the end of the leg end. You know. Okay, where to start with this? Okay, well, I've already said Super Bowl 55. There's some stuff I want to go through. I'm probably gonna have to jump backwards and forwards. The first thing I want to point out is this. Fortunately, they've ended up inserting the trophy as an eye here, and we've got live, and this is again back to the rebirth thing, live. All right, if we look at some of these other Super Bowls that Kansas City's been in, the Chiefs have been in, 54. Okay, we've got the live theme again. If we go back to Super Bowl 4, I mean, you can still pull the live out. Just looking at it, I'm like, oh, live's there again. Anyway, and we go back to Super Bowl 1, and this is the Super Bowl that they lost. Super Bowl 1, interesting that they were in Super Bowl 1 as well. And so we've got some interesting stuff happening. You know, they lose this first one. I can't pull a live out of that. We can pull a double I, barely. We can pull the 11 out of it. But so Super Bowl 4, and we've got the IV. And I've talked about the ivy before, the plant, the ivy, growing up the, you know, what the ivy does, it grows up the plant, and initially it's not a problem. Initially, it can even lend support to the plant. I've talked about this before with my corn plants in my garden. Initially, it can lend support to those plants, but over time, the ivy takes over, and it basically smothers out. It wasn't ivy in my garden, it was bindweed, but a very similar looking leaf. But eventually what happens is that ivy smothers out the tree or the plant it's growing up. Okay, so we got this deal with the ivy, and also the ivy, I've talked about the V and the dam being the V. And I will cut, if you've not watched any of my other videos on Vegas and the Hoover Dam, I will reference it through this, but I'm not going to try and explain every last little detail. So I will be referencing it, but you know, this is a reference to the dam here, the female place where you're born from. Okay, this is the V. This is the womb. So anytime we have this, we've got the 1 coming from the womb. Wonderful. And you'll see this with, let me just flick to this because I'll just forget this if I don't flick to it right now. Where is he? Patrick Mahomes' number is 15, is the IV. Okay, 5 being the V in Roman numerals. So we've got this, the IV referenced in his number, the 1 coming from the 5, from the V. All right, I just thought I'd mention that now because I don't know what else I see with the 15, to tell you the truth, apart from it's a 1, 1, 5, and the 5 being the balance number of everything. So, right, let's just jump. Where the hell was I? Here we go. Let's just jump back to this now. I'm gonna jump. I mean, we're gonna jump about all over the place. The thing to be watching, of course, is going to be who's going to be doing the halftime stuff, the weekend, and we'll talk about the weekend here in a minute. Unfortunately, well, I did have some Gematria stuff up, but I lost all my tabs a little while ago, and I couldn't be bothered to put everything back in. But we'll look at the weekend. We'll look at a few of these things. But we've got, of course, we've managed to get Eric Church. We've managed to get the church involved with the national anthem, a Sullivan, the van reference, and we've got kicking things off as well. The pre-game is not on here, but it's Miley Cyrus, and so we'll touch on those here in a little bit. And of course, the halftime is the Pepsi halftime show. We mustn't forget that. Sorry. And what that references, in my opinion, is Korea. This is the flag of South Korea here. And so, you know, you can't really, I mean, if I go up here, look at this. I mean, I don't know if you can make that out, but Pepsi, let's click on it. Let's see what it shows. Look at this. You know, this flag of South Korea, and here's the Pepsi. I mean, you know. The Kansas City Chiefs. Let's go to the Chiefs. All right, so this is my local team. So of course I'll be rooting for them anyway. Established 61 years ago. So we've got the 61, the birth year of the fiction of Diana, Princess Diana, and the 1 and the 6 is a reference back to the golden ratio. And we're talking about gold again here. So, 814. There's, you know, August. I mean, we can go. Well, I could go on about numbers all day long. I don't think we need to get into too deep into the numbers. Let's just pick out the meanings and everything. So, Chiefs. I don't really know what else I want to pick out about this. The Hunt family. That's interesting, especially with the arrowhead. And what I want to say about the arrowhead is that there's a couple of famous people that use the arrow. We've got Apollo the sun. We've got Artemis, a reference to the moon. We've got also bloody hell, who else have we got? Just trying to think. Oh, Odysseus. That was my big one because we're 20 years on now from Space Odyssey. And of course, Odyssey being a reference to Odysseus and that journey that David Bowman has to take, right? Well, David Bowie as well. All the same things. And Davy Jones, who is Davy Bowie. You know, all this stuff relates back onto itself. So this arrowhead, the arrow is the man. I mean, you could look at this about 2 or 3 different ways, but the way I like to look at it is if the bow is the woman's womb, the arrow is what is shot out of the womb. Okay, the arrow is the man, represented by the arrow, of course, the arrowhead, the phallus. So it's just a basic representation of man, the man being reborn. humanity being reborn. Okay. Oh, bloody hell. Anyway, okay. So anyway, we've also got the wolf. I mean, as the mascot. I mean, we could start pulling stuff apart. I mean, the hunt. I mean, you can start even looking into the Hunt family. There was something interesting about them having a run on silver and controlling silver for a while. I mean, just interesting little bits and bobs which you could link into all this. Going from the silver to gold. But that's what I think we're going for. Anyway, so that's a little bit on the Chiefs. Now let's go to the Buccaneers. Some interesting stuff with the Buccaneers as well. So I don't know what their nickname is, but from this, I would, if I was calling them a nickname, I'd call them the Bucks. And the Bucks, again, with Tom Brady being the GOAT, right? The buck is the female goat, is the male goat, right? That's what a buck is. Is a male goat. So again, more references to the dam, because the dam is the goat, right? You see those little goats that walk up the side of the dam. You see the shape. The goat head is the shape of the womb, the same as the sheep head or the cow head. All those things are the same, right? Okay, we got the pirates. Pirates. More pirates. I just go. I mean, I'm just gonna. Yeah, we'll just go through it as we go. I mean, where have you seen that pirate flag before? It's Jack Sparrow's flag. It's the Black Pearl. All right, it's exactly the same flag, different color, okay, but we've got the same. These cross swords, right? It's not a skull and crossbones like a normal skull and crossbones you would see. And they picked that for a reason. There's a normal skull and crossbones. This is the Black Pearl. I don't know what you call it. Flag colors. This is what the Black Pearl is. All right. This is this is what I think the Black Pearl is. Okay. When the moon comes in front of the sun, this is what you end up with. The eclipse. The solar eclipse. This is the crown of thorns. This is the Black Pearl. Okay, I mean, you could look at it another way. You could say when the moon becomes eclipsed by the Earth, when you have a lunar eclipse. So maybe that's the Black Pearl as well. But this, for me, is the meaning of the Black Pearl, right? There's the Black Pearl. And of course, those films, all of those films are absolutely bloody loaded with stuff, with meaning. So anyway, there's the Buccaneers, and of course they've got their they've got their pirate ship at one end of the stadium. Raymond James Stadium. Do I have that up? Yes, I do, because what are we Raymond? Now you've heard I said about diamonds before. Diamonds being Diana the moon. Well, what's Raymond? The ray from the moon. Okay? The light from the moon. This looks like they've picked out a blue and a grey for their lettering here, which is interesting, again, with the moon. So I thought, well, this is let's have a look what colours the teams are. And of course, you can go to this and you can see this. And I said to my daughter, I said, you know what colours they're playing in? Oh, no, I don't know. But I thought this was real interesting because we've got the grey here. The grey of the moon, the silver of the moon. And I thought, boy, wonder what colours they are playing in. So, of course, I just looked it up. So Tampa Bay, this was the deal sealer for me on who's going to win. They're going to be playing in white and pewter. This is what they're going to be playing in. This grey and white. The grey and white of the moon. They are going to lose. I'm pretty sure of it. Because you could have wangled it the other way. You could have said, Brady's gone to another team. He died at the Patriots, and now he's been reborn. He's been reborn at, at Tampa Bay, right? Because initially I thought, I didn't even know he was going to win that game, because I was thinking Green Bay would win it because of the green and the bay. And of course, my daughter's much more up on this stuff than me, and she said it was right at the end of the game, and she's like, "Oh yeah, it's I don't know if she said or I heard on TV, Tampa Bay, because I hadn't, I mean, I'm when it comes to this stuff, I am not up on it at all." And I said, "Oh, I just made the connection, oh yeah, Tampa Bay's going to be where the Super Bowl is. Yeah, they're going to win it, right? Win the game against Green Bay." Because the Bay is in the name again, okay, and the Bay is the place where you take shelter. The Bay is the place that you come into the fictional waters. It's that shelter that's offered to you by the fictional system, right? The same way as a sailor would be offered shelter by the bay, or the cove or whatever. So Bay was in the name all along, and I just did a blonde moment. No offense to any blonde people, but um, I was just being a muppet and I hadn't put two and two together. So anyway, yeah, I was like, oh, okay, I can see this now. I can see this is representing the fictional side of the system. Especially with these colours. Anyway, I was wondering, well, let's just check up on see what the Chiefs are wearing. Yep, we're wearing the red. The color of the sun. Uh, you know, uh, the color of the blood. The blood, the flowing blood, the live blood. That red color. Life, live again, back to live. So anyway, I'm pretty certain that Mahomes is going to be a double winner, and the legend, passing one legend, passing the torch off to the next legend. Here's the boy uh, becoming the man, if you like. I don't know. He's already 25, so he's already at the silver anniversary, and of course, the Chiefs did the 50-year Super Bowl 4 and Super Bowl 54, so they did a 50-year win, which is the gold, the golden anniversary. So anyway, we've also got that whole thing referenced with the whole start of the sequence is the Tupac, the death of Tupac being age 25 in Vegas. So I know this is getting waffly, and I know this is all over the place, but let's just whiz to the halftime stuff. So we're going to start with Miley Cyrus. Here we go. I did the picture with her clothes on, but here we are, Wrecking Ball. Here she sat on the moon right here. And what does the moon do? What does the moon do? The moon do wreck stuff, right? That's what the moon does. So we've got her on the grey sphere. She's dressed in in what? Well, for the most part in white. We got the corona cut, as I like to call it. We got um, the sun, the rays of the sun, the thorny crown, and we've got the moon referenced here, the Black Pearl referenced, right? She's got her Doc Martens on, and that's who's taking care of you is Doctor uh, of the Maritime. Doc Martin is who's taking care of you. Here's the wall. Here's the containment wall. It looks like it was a cube at one point. Actually, this is the thing that needs to be broken down. You know, this is the thing that needs to break. So I guess you could look at it a different way. I wouldn't look at it that way. I'd look at it as this is the moon. It wrecks things, but you've got to come out of your containment system at some time. So the whole system, which is the containment system, is going to self-destruct basically, just as the Death Star. Well, it doesn't really self-destruct, but it does kind of self-destruct. There's a flaw in it, and it leads to it blowing up, you know, when they do their trench run. Here's the dam, you know. This is the concrete walls of the dam. Okay, that's enough on Miley Cyrus for a minute. Let's do The Weekend. Okay, The Weekend. I just happened to pick this one out, right? There are a couple of I don't know if they're recent releases or not. Not that recent, but anyway, there's a couple that take place. Actually, it's this one here as well. Blinding Lights take place in Vegas, of all places. And the start of this one, 11 seconds in, and where are we at? We're at this place. Pleasure Paradise. And of course, Paradise is on the bottom end of Vegas, isn't it? But you know, this is what we're at. We're at the plaza. We're at the plaza. Yeah, we're back at Vegas. You know, with this, you know, with The Weekend, Heartless. Let's talk about this. Don't just talk. I mean, these songs that this. I don't know if this is a group or just one guy, but Heartless, right? You're in Vegas. You're corrupted by the fictional system. You're corrupted by the lure of the moon. I don't know if this is supposed to be moonlight up here. But you're heartless. Yeah, no, I mean the heart represents, you know, goodness and all that stuff, you know. But think about Jesus out on the cross, right? Okay, that cross represents balance, doesn't it? Right. So the cross represents balance. What is at the center of that balance point? What is at the center? The heart. The heart is the center balance point for your being. Okay, you take your gut reactions, which can, for the most part, are probably right. Okay, but you also take the things that are within your head, right, and you draw that, you know, that thought and that gut feeling, and you combine the two, you balance those two at the heart center. If you're heartless, you don't have no balance. You know, you're lost to the system. You know, you know, you no, you're just not in a good place, basically. And when I say good, I mean a balanced place, because there's some connotations with good and love that get misconstrued, I think. And what I need to do is I need to do a video on that at a separate time. But anyway, as for numbers, I did have the Gematrinator up. Don't know why we got PA in there. But I thought, oh man, I put the weekend in. I think it was 62, right? As they spell it. Sorry about my typing skills. I'm so slow. So we've got weekend 62. 62, 26, in, you know, fairly interesting. But what I thought was, let's just play with the word itself, because this is what we're facing. We're facing the end of the week. The people that are weak are the people, and I mean I'm one of them, are the people that succumb to the temptations of the fictional stuff, all the you know, all the out of balance stuff, you know, the junk food and the money and the going and buying Chinese crap all the time. All this stuff. All the stuff that goes along with life. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting. We're back to the 63 and the 36. The 36 completion date, the 360 degrees of a circle, and Diana again. We're back to Diana. She dies at the age of 36. This thing reduces to 36. So that's pretty. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't really. Did I put in? Did I Tom Brady? Brada. I thought this was interesting. This 118. That's the balance date. The 1118. I just thought that was interesting. Who else? What else did I put in here? Pat, Rick. What did I put? I put his middle name in because his middle name is interesting as well. Levon. And Levon, I mean, if there's a reference to the dam again or to water, Lavon for me, the lavatory, the River Avon, the place where William Shakespeare, Stratford-upon-Avon, my grandparents used to live right on that river. Well, not right on it, but right next to it. But Lavon, we got the V again in the middle. Anyway, Mahome Mez. Okay. Again, with the 81 and the 108, I just thought that was interesting. I know Tom Brady has got a ton of different names. He's like Brady Edward something. But actually, it's Brady Edward Patrick something else. Anyway, I ain't putting all that in. What was the other one I want to put in here? Goat. 43. And funnily enough, Brady is 43 this year. And again, the 43, well, we got that Operation Chastise, 1943, the Dam Busters. The 43. Interesting again. So all little bits and bobs. I don't know what else to say about it really. I think I've covered everything. I think what I will do is when I get off of here, I'll probably think of something else that I've forgotten to mention. But as for dates, I don't know. I just thought I thought the live thing was interesting, and of course some people, I saw people shouting like when I said IV. I'm sure people saying, "Oh, the intravenous injection, Dan," and all this. Yeah, it's all. I mean, you could just go on forever with all these little references. I'm trying to think what I have missed. Look at this. Took place at the Hard Rock Stadium. The Hard Rock, the Rock of God. It's the rock that destroys Goliath. I don't know. There's so many. I mean, if you go back and look at my other videos, you can piece all this stuff together that I'm saying. But oh, I thought that's another thing I'd look at actually was hang on a minute. Let's go to what do I want to look at here? Hang on. Blah blah blah. I was going to look at just some of these names in the within the teams. Tampa Bay, blah blah blah. Chris Godwin, Godwin, Scotty, Great Scott. How many times do we hear Great Scott in Back to the Future? Jones, the One. It's a reference to the One. It's also another bloody Princess Diana reference. Jones, Welsh, Wales. Mike Evan, the van again. I don't know. you know, and the same goes with bloody some of the names in the Chiefs. Um, what have we got here? We've got the Harrison special team. I don't know. I don't know if I'm, you know, I no. I mean, just some of these names. Le'Veon again. It's just another water reference. Another Chris Jones. I mean, I don't know. You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. You know, hard man. You know, Fisher. You know, Fisher. Jesus, the Fisher of man. Make fishers of you, whatever. I don't know. You know, I mean. Anyway, I'm kind of running out of stuff to say. Uh, as for scores, I guess that's where I need to end this. What's the score going to be? I was thinking 31 would pop up because that references. Not only does that reference when the Hoover Dam they started constructing the Hoover Dam. What was the other reference to 31? There was another nice reference I'd come across the other day. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, it references the building of the Hoover Dam, 31. I'll tell you what else. It also some other numbers. I mean, the 36 could pop up. 18, 11. I don't think it'll be that low of a scoring game. But you could quite easily, 36 is double 18, and you could quite easily see 36 to 22. That would be a reference right there to the 1118. That date, that number, that balance number, the balance number of the Leviathan cross, the cross of Lorraine, that Lucas number reference. So, I mean, you could pick numbers out all day long. I mean, of course, a 33 would be an obvious one to come up. I don't know what else really. You might see a reverse set of numbers like, I don't know, 32 to 23. But again, the double numbers, if you follow what I'm saying, like a set of twin numbers with all this twin stuff again. And so, I don't know, you've got him, you've got this Mahomes bringing back he's bringing back they brought back the trophy from the West Coast to the center of the country, and now they're going to bring it back from the East Coast to the center of the country. I'm talking like they've won it already. But I think that's what we're going to see. I mean, unless we're just going to have the rebirth of, Brady, But there was a reason why he had to change teams. Because that lineup, legend versus legend, old legend versus new legend, was never going to occur with him at the Patriots. It couldn't occur. In fact, I don't even know why he would have to leave the Patriots. He was actually in pretty good shape, I thought, as a quarterback. There was no real reason to get rid of him. I don't know the ins and outs of it, because like I said, I don't follow this stuff. But there was no real reason for him to need to leave, in my opinion. So, what that tells you is, the reason why he had to leave is because that lineup won't happen. The Patriots can never line up to the Chiefs for the Super Bowl. They're in the same league. So he had to change teams. He had to change teams for this to work out like this. So, that's interesting. 6'3", and I think, let's see how tall Brady is. Yeah, 6'4". And again, the 8-3. Oh boy, I mean, I don't. Where do you draw the line at looking at numbers? But the 1-7, Diana's birthday, the 1st of the 7th, and the 63 again. But yeah, there was no way that lineup could happen without him leaving and going to a team in the other league. Or the other league? Is there only 2 leagues? I don't know what there is. But anyway, that's the way it works out. I'm pretty sure of it. Peyton Manning. There we go. 18 seasons. I think he didn't. Did he used to play in shirt 18? Just all these little things. I think I'm going to leave it there. I don't think there's anything else I can say. Apart from there's one more reference with Mahomes and this homecoming thing, this theme of coming home. Coming home to God, coming home to balance, and Dorothy returning home. We got Kansas City. I know it's not. It's Kansas City, Missouri, but half the bloody city's in Kansas. The best half's in Kansas. That'll wind some people up from Missouri, but actually the better half. I mean, apart from that actual stadium, there's actually more. There's more stuff to do in unless you go downtown. I don't know. Anyway, it's just I mean, it's not Kansas, but it's Dorothy returning home to Kansas. All right, it's Mahomes clicking his heels. That's the who was his predecessor? Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith was his predecessor. Number 11, Mr. Smith. Actually, is that I don't know if that was his number at the Chiefs. That looks like a 49ers outfit. I don't know. I'm way out of my league when I'm talking about this stuff. Anyway, not to drag this on too much longer, but yeah, returning home. Dorothy returning home. Coming out of the fictional bay. Okay. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah, let's just leave it at that. All right. I hope you enjoyed, and I will get to the 322 at some point. But this whole thing. There may be some men manipulating some bits and pieces in here, but there's this is God's running the show. Consciousness is running the show. There's too much, and you see the problem is when you have a set of codes that run everything, right? Like the golden ratio, like pi, like another number that I mentioned to the guy on decoding your reality. He's just done his video on the Super Bowl. He mentions the 27 a lot because in Chaldean gematria, the Chaldean, a lot of these things reduce down to a 27 anyway, right? And 27 is currency. Gold currency is what the guy goes on about, right? So, but the 27 again is another one of these transcendental numbers, like a never-ending number, and it's to do with how the universe grows, right? So, I mean, I just came across that not that long ago. It's on the back burner for a video, but it's 2.7 1828 it's another one of these numbers, but it references the 28 and the 18, and the golden ratio is 1/618, and pi is 3/141. Okay, so you start seeing these numbers start popping up: the 61, the 31, the 18, the 27, and what does it mean? It's just referencing that code, and if you have a code, right, it's going to be, all this stuff, everything that's built in reality will automatically reference back down to those numbers. So it's not difficult now to sort of start looking at stuff and say, oh, somebody's done something here, and this is something here, but everything references back to itself because it's built off of that code. I don't know. Not to say there aren't some nut. I do believe there are some nut jobs out there that are manipulating things, but again, they themselves, in their psychopathic mindset, are almost definitely being manipulated, even if they don't believe they're being manipulated, or even if they know they're being manipulated. They're being manipulated. You can't not do. It's like you realize you're doing something, but you can't not do it. You can't not reference the system in some way. I've got to leave it there. I'm getting way out of the realms of what I really wanted to talk about. All right. Hope you enjoyed. Cheers. Bye.